accidentally and ended up with 4 hours of nonsense. Shit.
Oh yeah. I'll just get a backup going as well, just because I don't trust any of this stuff. Okay, so the state of the hypercomputer. Obviously not finished, or the conversation would start differently. But incredibly close. I mean, shit. All the test work in the repo now. I stripped out the faces concept, which was kind of painful. I've been over by hand a lot of the core pieces of it, so there's a lot of slop that can be generated from AI, as I'm sure you know. So I've just been, grinding through it. I understand intimately how the process works now inside the system. It's very tight and tiny. What I think I have right now, but I haven't deployed it, but I think it works right now, is being able to load up an agent and then that's it. So the bit that I'm working on now is how to make an agent call another agent using this modified model. And then once we have that, I'm praying that we can get going.
Yeah.
I need some help, but I'm not sure how.
Okay.
The
time-honored way is throwing stuff at the wall and see what sticks.
if I throw a wall at the wall, and then where would you ever want to have one agent talk to another agent on another computer, or would you consider that you're talking to the computer?
To tighten up a bit, do you mean I only want to talk to an agent running on this specific computer which I can identify?
Yeah. So if you consider that a computer ID plus an agent ID uniquely identifies an agent in the universe.
I don't really care. What do I care about? I care about knowing that the Tamil means that whatever, say if I was talking to, as a journalist to a dissident, and the dissident was the one making the agent to agent, they want to know that they're talking to the agent of the journalist. So it's not necessary to know that you're working on a particular computer, but it is necessary that you're running on a particular host. I don't care what hardware is running on. I just want to know that.
No. I mean, so you'll have a computer, right? Your own computer.
Yeah, and
I'll have my
one. Clarify, computers now.
Hypercomputer.
Host. The hypercomputer. Okay. All right.
So the hypercomputer is a computer that's formed where each hypercomputer is made up of hosts, where it's like one host per thread in the old computing model.
Yeah. Okay. So what would I care about? Oh, it depends how secure you want it. If you're going to the whole security, you want to be able to interrogate the other agent and saying, "Are you a good guy?" And
I don't think you care so much about that. Like the reasons why you'd worry about that is more about organization, privacy, freedom of movement. Like it's kind of like in the way computers are set up now, if you expose a port to the internet, you don't get to know that much about the process that's inside it. You just get set up with a pipe to go in and out of the computer. For all
Yeah,
intents and
sure.
purposes, you're talking to the computer and you don't know what's behind it unless it chooses to expose it.
Yeah.
So in this model, I don't think you want to talk to another agent. You want to talk to another computer, and you know that there's one or more agents in there, but that's not. It's encapsulated, like it's not your concern, and not for a privacy reason, just for the fact that it allows the implementation behind the computer to be free and unconstrained by how you're talking.
Yeah, because it exposes effectively an API.
Yeah, so
Or
all the agents inside of each computer would only see that they think they're talking to a computer, and that's it.
hmm,
They don't care what's underneath, so long as they're getting back protocol compliant information type of thing.
yeah. Um, so how would if one agent wanted to ask another agent a question, how would it is weird. I can see you unscrewing that. You're right. That is, I have to say, the upgrade is pretty good with
Is
hand.
that new, eh?
Yeah, it's like
Well, I've been doing the fingers to you for a long time, so I
I
don't
know,
think
but no. I'm the thing is, I'm also holding my controllers, and previously that stopped it. Anyway, doesn't matter. Rabbit hole.
that's
If I
true.
was,
That is true. That's
yeah,
changed. It's
yeah,
simultaneously controllers and hands.
yeah,
Hmm.
something new and
The plot thickens.
somewhat trivial, but all I want to do, let me think this through. As an agent with a job to do, all I want to know is, am I talking to the right agent or some man in the middle weirdness? I want to be able to verify that I'm talking to the right agent, because otherwise I'm going to get back spurious stuff.
Ah, shit. What's a use case by which you'd want to talk between computers?
Any organization where their internal network of
No, I need it. Can you
agents,
give me a specific one? Like, what are
sure,
you and I? How are your computer and my computer gonna need to talk? Why would they need to talk?
um, well, let me give you not that one. I can come back to it if doesn't make sense. But if you're gathering OSINT against a target, what you don't want is anything outside of your trusted boundary
Right.
to start telling you shit. You don't want to reach out to an agent that is owned by the other side. That might be too low level security thing, but
Yeah.
it
So the
seems
computer,
reasonable.
so the computer represents a trust boundary, right?
Yeah. So I guess the trust boundary. Oh shit. Give me 2 seconds.
Right.
All right. Sorry, I really can't talk now. Can I call you later? Is that okay? Hello? 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 Oh, okay. 2 seconds. We're on record, so I'll not say who it was, but I'll text them.
waiting on you, right?
Yeah, yeah. Right. Okay. I'm back in the room.
So the computer
Um,
represents a trust boundary.
or did I just send that to you instead? Why is that up on yours?
What? That's what you sent me.
Oh shit!
But no, that's you.
I
These are
meant to
old
send that to
messages.
someone else.
You
Meant to
did.
send.
You did. Those are old messages. That's an old message.
Oh yeah, so it is. It's very similar though. Okay. All right. Okay. So yeah, I'm guess. Right. So if I were running an organization, I'd want only legitimate agents to be talking to each other. That's really what I care
But
about.
why? Yeah, but even as an individual, that is true.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't want my agents. Well, I guess what's the point of an agent talking to another agent across the computer? You know, like the computer needs a special folder in it that's like its sockets, like its network,
Yeah.
where there's like queues of messages coming in and queues of messages going out because they need to be replayable. You know, like for the computer to be immortal or fault tolerant, it needs to be able. The messages need to be persisted as they go in and out, so they can be replayed.
Mm-hmm.
This one is very fuzzy to me. Like I'm like into computer communication because you could just say, well, why can't we just talk the same way we have agents talking to each other? But then you end up with the issue of, well, if you had 1,000 agents, figuring out who's talking to who becomes kind of confusing. And then, when I'm talking to another computer, do I need to track which agent on the other side I'm talking to? I mean, maybe, but is that the best way to go? And why would I want these computers to talk like that?
Isn't it the case you're really interested in the veracity and provenance of the agent itself?
That's one way to do it, yeah. But then, so you like, I know that I'm on Tom's computer and I'm definitely talking to this other agent on Scott's computer and we're going to sort stuff out.
Well, this is only one way. But if I knew that this was an agent that I could trust, then I'll allow my agent to talk to that agent.
Even if it wasn't one you could trust, you might still want to talk to it.
You could take steps, exactly. You could take steps and go, low confidence level. I'm talking to this guy in St. Petersburg.
Oh, like the communication ban, you would definitely know, just like with SSL, you'd be like, yeah, I know I'm definitely talking to this other entity, but whether or not the entity itself is trustworthy is a separate matter.
Well, sure. I mean, same as for SSL, right? I mean,
correct. Yeah, correct.
So I think that's a reasonable thing. So in answer to your question, if the agent talks to another agent, they want some kind of assurance that they're actually talking to that agent.
Yeah, but so that's easy to do. I'm just like, we can do that, but should we? Like,
that's a more interesting question, isn't it?
Yeah. There's lots of different ways we could do it. We could have agents talking to other agents, free for all. Then you're like, well, okay, how did they discover each other? If all they had was a computer, then you could say that maybe there's like network agents where you talk to only a specific subclass of agent that deals with stuff in a certain way.
Mm.
Um, like you kind of don't want every agent exposed on the public internet, but you do want some agents exposed on the public internet if your computer is set up that way. Those agents need to be hardened and they need to be able to be cheaply scalable. So if something,
Mm-hmm.
if you get slash dotted, the hypercomputer should scale easily to meet the demand. So
Mm-hmm.
the way I've been thinking about agents in the last day or 2 days, is that you could kind of treat each one like a little tiny conventional computer. And so when you're rolling out infrastructure, like if I wanted to serve a traditional website or web app, I could use agents as the mechanism by which to manage the infrastructure that serves it. So the agents would have this control plane that we went over in our last call where they
Yeah.
communicate with each other. Each agent might have a little bit of an AI in it that can do decisions like it might be watching the metrics of the node, like the
Mm-hmm.
network throughput, the request per second, the number of errors, key metrics. And the AI is just like getting kicked with that every, I don't know, a couple of seconds or whatever. And then the
Mm-hmm.
AI is making some decisions and saying, well, am I under attack? Are systems normal? Am I healthy? There's like a higher level orchestrator that's looking at all of these agents that are being used in this web server way and saying, okay, should I scale up? Should I scale down? How many users are coming in and having a low latency experience? Should I teleport an agent or spin up new agents in this other infrastructure region? And so these little AIs are making infrastructure decisions that used to be the realm of humans writing programs and honestly fucking it up and spending way more time than they should. But the hypercomputer model is just like, it's dead easy. It's like the AI is in charge of spinning up new infrastructure. New infrastructure is instant, cheap, secure. And when it has more load that it needs, then it just simply boots up another piece. And so in
Mm-hmm.
that case, you've got parts of the hypercomputer exposing um, agent network ports to the open internet and then ingesting that information and then feeding it back into the rest of the hypercomputer in some way.
Well, the hypercomputer, by analogy, is the internet only with AI, right? So,
What?
I,
No,
I,
that's not.
um, okay, let me finish the thought.
Okay.
So you don't necessarily care where anything runs. What you care about is the veracity of its output. If you go to a website at the moment, you got key signal with HTTP and
Yeah.
HTTPS and so on, and then maybe you know something about it and so on, and it's that trust. Now the AI, the calling agent's AI, should be able to make its own decision. So I do a trust when I'm searching for
Yeah,
information.
but it seems, isn't it useful for it to know that it is talking to an AI agent on the other end, like a hyper agent? And isn't it useful for it to know how to interact with repos with this other computer? Like,
What do you mean by no? As in have confidence is backed by a cert, or yeah, this organization is .gov, therefore I'm going to trust it. Well, what is no?
no means that the thing at the other end is an AI agent because it can talk the protocol. And the protocol in our sense is we have ended up with this interagent communication protocol, which is drop dead simple. It's just an agent ID and a string. And then you get back an interaction ID, which you can request the results of later. And that's, I worry about that a lot because I don't know if that's enough, but I cannot find anything that isn't solved by that.
It seems like this is a task to prompt the orchestrator. Goes out and searches for other agents and comes back saying, "Yeah, I've checked these guys out. They're cool. You can talk to them."
No, well, I don't think it needs to be as complicated as that. So a simple example would be my computer, your computer. Our agents talk. My agents talk to your agents, and they're like, "All right, at a protocol level, everything checks out. At an SSL cert, everything checks out. We now need master to come and tell us, does master want us to talk to this computer or not?" Right? And you would do the same. To be like, you sending out a friend request or accepting a friend request would be the final say. Is the human goes, "Here's all the information that all the agents have gathered for me. Yes, I want to add this hypercomputer in." But it's almost like it's the hypercomputer that gives the agents, it's not even their identity. Like, they have identity. It's when they're part of the same trust boundary, you're talking to the trust boundary. Like, you can't really talk to one individual inside of a trust boundary without being aware that there's this wider group that's part of that same trust boundary too. So anything you say to it is you must consider as being observed by this wider trust boundary. Like, if I talk to someone in China, no matter how charming they are, they're still in the trust boundary of the Chinese government. And so I need to think about what I say.
Yeah. 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 It does make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like we have good, strong answers here.
I'm starting on this question.
Interagent communication, though, like, this is what it boils down to, right? It's simply an agent ID, so a way to address the agent uniquely, and a string. And then you get back the results of that string. Now, in terminal land, that's kind of all you ever have.
Yep.
So there's that. In AI land, it's like, well, there's something essential about making the communication be intelligence only as opposed to structure. Because intelligence can also mean, like, lack of intelligence. Like, I'm not really sure what I'm asking. Can you please figure it out? You know more about it than me. So intelligence means unstructured, I think. But then at the same time as sending that, you can also send files, because you can send repos, references to repos, parts of repos, other things like that. So you've basically got this semantic or text-based channel, because honestly, like, you and I, at the end of the day, we only really talk in strings.
Yeah.
And
I previously identified you. You've identified me.
Happy days. Right. So we are technically engaging in the agent protocol right now. On occasion, I'll send you a photo. You'll send me a photo. I might send you a web link. So the primary agent-to-agent communication is always strings. And then there's this payload layer where we transport other stuff that has varying meanings,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? And the question or concern is that enough? Uh, Logically, yes.
Logically, it actually works fine. I guess it comes down to, in your analogy, why do I trust you and why do you trust me? There, there's been some kind of discourse earlier. It's like, yep, Tom's not going to send me any malware. I'm not going to send him any malware.
Yeah,
Happy
Scott's
days.
not going to send me any dick pics, all that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
But that's not really the problem, right? Like, the problem is, like, why do we have a computer boundary at all? And should the computer boundary have anything to do with the communications between the agents?
Well, this is why I was saying it's just does one agent trust another agent and why? And it can go up to an orchestrator and say, hey, I was trying to talk to this agent. Should I trust him? Mm, yeah, yeah. However, with a confidence level, because we're not entirely sure.
But what would you expect the agent to change if it was like, no? Like, okay,
Move,
stop
move,
talking.
move, move to a different agent, or drop that part of
It's just not
what they're
clear to me.
considering.
Like, if I feel like it should be obvious why your agents would want to talk to my agents if we had a computer together.
If we're on the same computer, then
No, we're
that's
not on the same computer. You have your computer, I have my computer. I want to send you a meme.
um. Why do I care about what
My
your
memes?
computer is? I care about your agents
You care
because I want
about
to.
me, like, because I, the human, am the computer, because I represent the trust boundary. Like, when I talk to you,
Ah,
I'm trusting all the stuff that's in your trust boundary, like your phone, your email address, your VR headset. These things are independent of you, but they fall within your control radius, and I trust them because I trust you to maintain your control radius.
mhm.
I also trust my VR headset to not get taken over by a malicious foe who's taken over your headset. So I expect my own agents to have a level of hardiness. But I also trust you because you, the person, exert a trust radius, and I trust that.
Right, right. So instead of this VR conversation, we could be doing it on Zoom. Um,
Yeah.
Recording it on my laptop. You're trusting that my laptop is reasonably secure.
Mm.
Um,
But what I guess, yeah, the reason I ask this is I'm not there yet, but pretty soon computers are going to want to chat between other computers.
my and I try not to do this too often, but my gut says that an agent should be able to talk to another agent if it was a green light by something. Don't really care what.
Right. So based on some anointment, the agent,
Yeah,
the way of communication is direct agent to agent.
yeah, yeah.
Using the agent protocol, that interaction protocol of like strings.
Um, yeah, but the path may be to talk to an orchestrator and saying, "Hey, I want to talk to this agent. Um, is this agent trustworthy? I've never talked to him before."
So
And
if I
then,
want to send you a WhatsApp message, I would be in my browser. I would be securely connected to one of my agents, and I would say to it, send this message to Maxwell.
right,
And
right,
then
and if it
it
never
would
sent, oh,
then look
sorry, go
up,
on.
it would find in the list of contacts, it would find your computer. It would then send a message to it saying, hey, I need to talk to someone. So that's like it places the phone call. the operator picks up and is like, "Hey, what do you want?" And you're like, "Oh, hi, I've got a WhatsApp message here for Scott." And then the operator is like, "Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I see you're on the guest list here. Master has trusted you. Here, let me go wake up the WhatsApp agent. You can talk to them." And
Yeah.
then that hands the call off, and now my WhatsApp agent is talking to your WhatsApp agent, and that's how the messaging is being exposed.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Okay. All right. All
you
right.
could
So
put that. Sorry, just to talk through
yeah.
from the opposite side. Um, uh, my agent wants to talk to this other agent because it's spam me with a dubious link. I don't know it's dubious. It's just a link. It's like, okay. Should I accept the incoming? And some reference to the orchestrator and the master going, mm, yeah, there's no particular reason not to believe it, but yeah, sure. Yeah, you go ahead. But treat that information as non canonical because we don't have enough information about the other agent. I guess that is the thing, isn't it? How much information, when an agent talks to another agent, how much information do they have to be able to rely on to say that other
Right.
agent
So
is
I
going to be
guess
a good actor?
the component that is hidden here is the fact that there's like these gateway agents that manage the computer silently. Like they manage things like, is an agent running? A web request has come in. I need to, at a protocol level, an HTTP level, I need to route that to this agent. And so those agents you never actually talk to. They are just like
Mm,
the faceless in a way. Like they don't have an interactive layer. They're just machinery. They're more. Now they could have some AI in there for anomaly detection and stuff, but they typically just run as plumbing. Like they're like the message bus. So in the room full of scribes, they would be the ones with the cart moving the messages around when each scribe addressed a message to a different thing, right?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Okay,
And
so uh, in that sense, then the way that a video call would work, I would be in my browser. I'm talking to my WhatsApp agent. I'm like, "Hey, I want to start a video call with Scott." It goes okie dokie. It contacts your computer, which is effectively your gateway agents or the operator. So I think that's the bit I was
mhm,
missing from the model in my head. There is always a gateway thing back there because that's what curates the agents and makes sure that they've been shut down if they're not doing work. It makes sure that they get fired up again, like the pilot light. It's
yeah,
the
yeah,
management layer, and then so the call comes in and it's like, oh, looks like you want to make a video call. I don't know about video calls, but you're in the WhatsApp class of agent. I'm gonna fire up the WhatsApp agent for Scott, and then I'm gonna hand you over to them. So that fires up the agent, and then my WhatsApp agent talks to your WhatsApp agent. You're like, hey, we're friends, right? And it's like, yeah, 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 I know you. You know me, and it's like, can I make a video call? And you're like, oh, yeah, yeah, Scott's here actually. Let me just turn that on, and then they can then start communicating over the actual internet protocols, where like web streaming and all that, they can open network ports. And so long as, I guess what we're saying, so long as the control plane extends out to other computers, you can use the control plane to broker setups of other forms of communication, like streaming web media for like a video call.
yeah.
But
And maybe they only want to use Telegram instead of WhatsApp, whatever.
right,
And it's like, hey, because as a user, I'd want to say something like, hey, I'd like to make a call to Tom.
right,
I don't really care whether it's WhatsApp, Telegram or
No.
anything
So I
else.
guess there's two ways we could go about that. One is we could treat the agent-to-agent communication layer as the control plane and use that to interact with the other computers, or we could that would require AIs involved because that's natural language. That doesn't sound unreasonable. It's just maybe it's a little bit more latency than we want. The other way is we could do MCP servers. So like I could knock on your door and be like, "Hey, what MCP? Hey, you know me? I'm in your contact list, right?" And the operator's like, "Correct," which is a machine response, not an AI response. And then I'm like, "Hey, show me what MCP servers of yours I have access to." And it's like, "Oh, you got the WhatsApp one here." I interrogate the WhatsApp MCP server, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I can send a video call. Okay, I'm going to send that tool call. Okay, go." And then that places the call, and it's like zero latency type of thing, right?
That seems reasonable, and it's analogous to friend network on any social uh, network.
Yeah, I
It's like,
just don't know if we want to. So the question there is, do we want to actually allow um, agents within computers to expose MCP servers to each other, or do we want them all to just communicate using natural language and repos where needed and deeper protocols that can be arbitrary? Like MCP seems pointless there. MCP was about APIs that you needed to dynamically discover. But if you know that the other side has agents, isn't it better to just talk to them using natural language, because you're already having a natural language delay on your side, because worst case you the human are trying to talk using the agent protocol, or one of your agents is having to use its AI to generate words to say. And so having AI delay on the other side as it interprets it might not really be so bad.
yeah, I think so. Hmm.
Because there's a funny oddity happens here, right? There's this control plane, but then we're saying there's also this, like, the whole internet communication suite is available too. So you can use the control plane to then set up a port for a video call. But then that begs the question, well, you could have the port open all the time. Why not just sit there as a server and wait for it? You know, you know how there was all these like distributed messaging protocols like XMPP and all this other stuff.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
was like you start up the server, you have a port open advertising your presence. Like in a hypercomputer, that's kind of trivial. So we could do that, or we could just use the agent comms to just intro each other so that there's no protocol, there's no apps. It's just if you can speak agent, which is like you can respond to a string, you can figure out compatibility. You can both decide to run an app and then connect the app. You know, because how often, like, how frictionful is the spread of a social network where it always starts with you want one of your friends to join it and they have to get the app. You're like, first of all, you're like, download the
yeah.
app, and you're like, oh, I'm on an Android, not an iPhone. Oh shit. Okay, well, fuck. Grab this other thing. It's like, oh, I'm not logged into the Play Store. Oh fuck. Okay, so go to the web page, and like that whole problem doesn't need to be there, right? Because MCP still requires you to, first of all, know that there's an MCP server there, and second of all, guess that the tools it exposes are relevant to the intent you have. But if the intent is, I want a brand new MCP server that's not listed here, where do you go with that, right? But the agent-to-agent protocol, because it's just pure strings, allows you to knock on a door with like, hey, would you like to buy some flowers? Or so, like, you can come in
Yeah,
with anything,
yeah, yeah,
and the other
yeah.
side might figure it out. Like if my agent talked to your agent and was like, we're going to use WhatsApp, and your agent was like, I don't have WhatsApp, what is that? Then the agents can figure out, well, I think we want WhatsApp. Now, like, what would Master think? Oh, Master said we can install whatever we want. Is it safe? Yeah, it's safe. It's got this blue tick. You're like, go, go, go. And you're like, okay. So they set that up. So it'd be like trying to have a video call with your gran, and she's never had a video call with anyone before. And then your agents and their agents, you figure out what you've done before, what you're compatible with. You figure all that out, and then next thing it's just like blip video, right? It's just intent from each side.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And agents mirror the intent of the human.
Yeah,
What the human doesn't
right.
want to do is to get involved in, oh shit, I'm going to have to find this app. Where's this app? Well,
So stupid, right? And then once you've found the app, you're like, okay, what's your telephone number? It's like, really? A telephone number? You want a sequence of 11 freaking digits that I might mistype? You're like, okay, well, here we go. Here's his number. You know, so it's like that. What's it called? The protocol handshake is horrible if you do it with not plain text.
and also, the intent is in the human's brain, and that's what we want to do. In all of this, if there's one general golden rule, is we want to offload the workload from the human onto an AI.
You always say that, and I'm starting to think that whilst I agree with the words you say, I'm starting to think that I might not fully grasp, or I don't have enough examples of how you want to see that working for me to understand why.
I'll give you a pretty gash example.
Did the
In
WhatsApp example that I gave you classify as one such example?
right, I'll move it into a fun thing, but it's exactly the same question. In Star Trek TNG, they have
No, I do
their
not.
okay, right. You hit your communicator, and you just talk.
Yes,
You say, Geordie, what the fuck's going on with the engines?
I
And
thought it
it's
was
rooted,
Scotty that did the,
or Scotty, that was the early one. I'm a bit
and
of a
it's
tracker.
and it's routed.
And it's routed. What you're trying to do at the human level is talk to the guy at the other end that you want to talk to.
So is it fair to say then that when I'm speaking to the machine, I don't care which agent, I want to speak to the computer as a whole, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
there's
yeah,
this
yeah.
there's this
That's
trusted swarm of stuff. It could be spread across half a galaxy, but I know that it's all connected by its succinctness, or
that's precisely the point.
it's context sharing. This is a context boundary is what a computer means, right? It's a
Yeah,
boundary around all the things within it share the same context, the same oversight, the same everything. And it's
yeah,
coherent, right? It's coherent and it's intelligent, efficient intelligence. Like it's not,
right, exactly. And
yeah,
you've now offloaded the whole idea of, oh shit, I need to install WhatsApp.
yeah.
What's Geordie's
So as a
fuck going
human,
on?
I speak to a computer as though it's one thing, but
Yes,
inside it is many, right?
yeah, yeah,
And then when I want to talk to another person through a computer, I want to really talk to my computer as though it's one thing. It's going to talk to the other computer as though it's one thing. And then that computer is going to talk as one thing back to the human. And so the humans, ideally, the computers disappear and the humans talk directly,
that's a
but the computers figured
great
out
way
how
of
to
putting it.
open up the pipeline.
That's a great way of putting it. The computer should be invisible.
Yeah, it just disappears. It's listening in the background, giving you hints and jumping in whenever you need, but ultimately its goal was to be invisible from the start. Like I should be able to fire up my computer and I say, "Computer, I want to talk to Scott." And then
Yeah,
all that shit whirs away in the background including shit like it could be weeks before the response comes back to me. It's like, we've tracked down Scott. No one's seen him for years. Last thing
Yeah,
we
and
knew, he
it
was on
could
a
be
starship heading for such and
to
such.
be ridiculous. It could be up the Amazon, and it's like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah. But
okay,
my agents, all I said was, I want to talk to Scott. They've
yeah,
gone off and they've found you. And then they're like, yo, incoming call. We got Scott on the line. They've figured out how to get hold of you, get a communicator in place, get all this stuff going, and then let you know that I want to speak to you, and then you accept it, and all these things. And a whole lot of negotiation, really, right? The negotiation part and discovery part is multimodal, multi-step at the moment.
yeah.
Social communication is horrible. Like, so many discovery negotiations, like which app, which phone number, have you got enough data? Is it, what's your
It's that, and
name?
that is the cognitive load. It's like, should have, we've got a couple WhatsApp channels. Which channel should it go on to say this, or should it be on Telegram? You know, don't really care. But then, that cognitive load is on me. I could say something like, I want to talk to Tom in confidence,
Right.
and it just sorts out, and this is the most secure route. And the negotiation of that path, I don't care.
Right.
I really
Or
don't
it
care.
could be like, I never want to speak to Tom again. And it's like, right.
That's
Okay.
right. Yeah.
Or I
Yeah.
never want to speak to Tom again, and I don't want him to know it.
Right.
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 It's like,
That's what I care about. That, and this is the paradigm I'm holding a flame for, is offloading all technology off the human brain. You just want to do something.
that's a big one.
It is a big one, but I'm
It's
fairly
essential,
confident
right?
we'll
Like,
get
it's
there in 10
coming.
years
It's
or
coming.
something.
What you
Yeah.
ask for is coming. All right. Well, I think I got the model straightened out in my head again. Thank you. I feel like the size of the model at the moment is large enough that I keep dropping bits out the side. Like, it's too big for my RAM, and then bits fall off, and I'm like, oh no, how do I do that bit? And then I guess we now have like dual GPUs going, where you have some memory and I have some memory. Okay.
Can you give me 2 seconds? I've got
Sure.
incoming. It's a busy morning.
Is it being a great inconvenience to have this call? Like, we can reschedule.
These calls are centered to everything we're doing, and so they have
Okay,
the highest
thank you.
priority,
All right, cool.
except turning up for dinner.
Hey, don't be late for dinner. I wonder if I could figure out what you were typing by watching your hand movements.
Oh, that's an interesting thing. I wonder if, because the hand gestures are so good now, I
Yeah,
wonder if you could figure out what I was actually typing.
yeah.
Oh, it was interesting. Give me 2 seconds. Oh, I see. This is an excellent use case here. I am on VR and I'm having to go to my phone to go to a specific app to tell a specific person a piece of information.
Right. Whereas you just want to, you actually don't care about any of that. You just want to
Yeah.
say, you're like, computer, blah, 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 blah. And there should be enough contextual information in that that it can figure out exactly what you want. And you could even be incomplete about what you say. So you're having to type out exactly the message. You should just be able to be like,
yeah.
in fact, given that, I bet you that if I had overheard everything you had said in the last day, I could probably write that message for you.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a courtesy text from Jude on a situation which we talked about,
Yep.
and she's not even asking anything. She's just making me aware of a thing, and I want to say that's great. If you really want, I can come up for 10 minutes, but I'm on a phone with Tom. Now, getting that message over, I don't give a shit how it happens.
Yeah. Okay, so along that vein, I'm starting to see the Dreamcatcher as a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
We had talked about it as a place where ideas go in and problems go in. We try and do some routing around connecting them and all that. But actually, the way that it is gonna shake out, I think, is that we're all heading towards this single omniscient interface that's all around us, right? It picks up our voice, it sees our motion, it knows our heart rate, senses, and all that. And it is going to do what we want. There's a big battle going down because if a company can produce that, then they can have an influence on what you want, but they can also know what you want before anyone else does, possibly before even you do, and they can arbitrage it or make commission on it. And our angle, I think, is like this is the first OpenAI Dev Day that went down. That released a whole bunch of cool shit. Don't get me wrong, but I was so relieved. I was like, that is nowhere even close to where we're aiming, and I know that where we're aiming is spot on, because they want to be that omniscient intelligence, and the only path they have is to grab everyone in. And we're saying we want to be that omniscience, but we're going to make it entirely, genuinely, provably in service to you and confidential from anyone else. And
That
those are
is a major
opposing
point.
things. Those are opposing
And
things.
there's a lot of evidence. I'm picking up that the zeitgeist is against exactly that model.
Yeah.
So
Because
take
when,
digital ID cards, for example.
yeah.
Nobody
So
wants that.
tier 3 was allowed to exist because it was fragmented. Tier 3 from a distance looks like Tier 2, except it's controlled by all these individual parties.
Yeah.
Members of Tier 3 got so big that people got angry and then antitrust things came down. Sure, that's how they keep the animals in line. Tier 1 pops up. They start getting real big real quick. When Tier 1 tries to be Tier 2, but doesn't want it, but wants to be the sovereign,
Yeah.
right? That you can't do that. Like it won't,
Yeah.
the thing you grab won't hold together in that model.
Yeah.
And so our angle is really, okay, we're actually doing everything that Tier 1 is doing to try and grab everyone. We're going to do the same, except for it's yours, confidential, guaranteed, free.
Well, yeah. And my sense is that there is a real kickback coming where people don't like being the product anymore.
Nah, so that's going to be delayed a bit because the ChatGPT offerings are so good and competitors to ChatGPT, they're so good, and because people are paying for it, they are sort of not the product, but a lot of it's going to be like, hey, hang on, this thing runs my life. What about it? Like, I now am owned by this corporation. You're mining my data and my questions. Like, who am I now? So, this was not the path I wanted to go down. This was really just the backdrop to saying that I see the Dreamcatcher differently, and I wanted to cover that with you because I feel like you and I share the same mindset with the Dreamcatcher, and I believe it deserves some recalibration.
Okay. Yeah.
The simplest example that I could come up with the triggering example, in fact, was if you're a personal trainer, you go home at night and you're like looking at your books and you're like, shit, I need to make more money. And then you say, hey, ChatGPT, what are some ideas for improving my business? How can I up my income? And things like that, right? So you're busy brainstorming with an AI for ways to make your business better. 2 houses down, there's this other guy brainstorming, how am I going to get fit? I have diabetes. I need to lose weight. Blah, 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 blah. I have this time slot available. I have this much money available. Da, da, da. In the old way of thinking, that would have required a stuck from both those guys. But they might not have found each other because the solution, they are the solution. Each person's problem is the solution to the other person's. So you're not presenting solutions. You're presenting two problems that can cancel each other out. In the old way, I feel like we saw it as a bookkeeping exercise where you've got this NFT of this person's desire to get fit, this NFT of this person's desire to improve their income and their business. And we were hoping that there'd be some mechanics that would fit them together. But I think that in my mind, I imagined an email arriving, obviously not an email, but some kind of direct message being like, hey, Bob down the road wants to get fit. He's willing to pay X, Y, Z, blah, 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 blah. Right? But in actual fact, how it's shaping up, this omniscience, you're going to chat to it and it's going to go away and think about it. It's not going to tell you everything that it's thinking because you don't want to know. You could know if you wanted, but most of the time it's just whirring away quietly, calmly, always in your favor in the background. And then at an opportune time, you're going to be like, oh man, what am I going to do about my business? And it's like, hey, I think there's a few guys around here that, at this particular time where you've got no clients, they'd be willing to, do this thing. And in the background, the same conversation has happened, but the concierge has said, hey, I reckon I could find you a personal trainer. That's one great step. What do you reckon? Would you pay like X? So it's already done. What am I trying to get at? I'm trying to get at the fact that the solutions and the problems are not necessarily distinct, but they always come via the processing of an AI. It's never the pure problem that makes its way through anymore. It's an AI generated it's inference. Like it's summarized, it's pulled in from many things. It's no longer the clean signal. I think a classical example, conventional computing, there is only clean signal. There is this unit of information and it moves around and you can always trace its provenance. But as soon as an AI reads it and then infers something from it, with how strong is the provenance, right? It's fuzzy now. It's not clean. It's not a unit. And that's really how I see the Dreamcatcher now. It's not these discrete things that go in. It can be fuzzy things that go in. And the AI is making discrete things that are nothing. They're not directly connected to the original thing. It's sending out searches and feelers and tentacles that are not directly correlatable back to the original thing. And then when it's suggesting things to you, you can't get 100% provenance lock on where that came from. It's fuzzy, it's probabilistic. And so the Dreamcatcher becomes really more like dreams that are fuzzy and sort of like feeling based and sort of based, because the way that you present the solutions and the way that you extract the problems isn't discrete.
I agree. Because in your example, guy with the personal trainer business, guy with diabetes, um, and they're close by. That close by previously, you present a problem. I need more money. I present a problem. I need to get fitter. You're now reaching out to, well, is it practical for these two guys to get together? Is the personal trainer trained in helping a guy with diabetes? Maybe they do. Maybe they don't. Is there a hall they can go to and do laps around, or facilities or whatever? And so the higher level, each individual stuck is just like a seed, right? But the additional context that the AI at that higher level could bring to it brings a, I hate this word, but brings a solution to the problem, right? It's like, hey, you should talk to this guy, and vice versa.
That's correct, and it is a faithful reflection of what I said. However, I feel like I haven't managed to capture my glimpse yet. I'll try to deepen it a little bit.
Okay.
When the fatty is introduced to the personal trainer, they wouldn't be introduced directly. Like, part of the solution ability of the Dreamcatcher is nudging. It's not saying you are fat, therefore you should train with this personal trainer at 5 o'clock every Tuesday. The correct solution is to steer or nudge, right? So it's about packaging the solution as well. But furthermore, like when the trainer is brainstorming for ideas, the AI is able to communicate with other PTs that are brainstorming for ideas for their business too. And so it's able to present back ideas that have been successful over there. It's able to add to this pool of ideas. It's able to look at these other people around, and it's more... The Dreamcatcher is more like a retrieval augmentation system than the discrete NFT-based message system. Like it's more hinty than I think I'd really comprehended it as before. And it's also delivered as the output of generative AI rather than the stucks and the solutions being presented directly. It's you're just
sorry,
chatting.
Mike, can I hold this for
Sure.
5 minutes?
Sure.
Knock at the door.
Okay, sure.